sometimes situations happen that can't be fixed or whatever. But I encourage everybody, if you can, try to do it because we're more stronger when we're together.
Yeah, by the power of two is much difficult to move a car than it is to move one person. You know,
Now,
when you hear us, the people of doing.
now talking about what may be going on in the world right now, I don't want to talk too much about it, but our last topic is 7 tips to detox your mind and feel more at peace. So we're gonna break down what they are, and then we will get right into speaking about each topic and why it's so important.
Let's go. Let's go ahead and drop our
Affirmation of the day.
affirmation of the day.
All right,
Yes,
bet. Let's
sir.
do that. Perfect timing too. Good, good. You know, so teamwork. Today this one is gonna be real, real good. Today I align myself with freedom, growth, and joy. I'm fulfilling my purpose in the world. I give myself permission to go after what I want.
Freedom and joy, permission to go after what I want. That's freedom and joy. There's nothing like it. Can we hear that again, brother?
So once again, today I align myself with freedom, growth, and joy. I am fulfilling my purpose in the world. I give myself permission to go after what I want.
Giving yourself permission to go after what you gotta free your mind, like we talk about. It starts with freeing your mind. Be happy for the little that you do have and understand there's more yet to come and permission to go after what it is that you feel like you deserve.
And you know, once you put that out there and you realize like, and that's why those vision boards and things are important, that you're kind of aligning with the universe to work in your favor. That's what these things do. When we talked about last episode with writing notes down, it's only to help you out.
Yep.
You know, I'm only speaking on it because I wish I had somebody that came on every Monday that could remind me, yo, do this, do that, and you can see the results from it. So we encourage you guys, and you know, we speak about these affirmations all the time because it's so great. It helps us with our it helps us achieve a positive mindset to
Yep.
attack our goals and whatever that we are looking for in this world. And you know, it's so much happening right now. It's easy to lose sight of all the good things in the world,
Yep, it is. That's true.
and that's why it's so important to detox your mind. Sometimes it's easy. That's why we always talk about taking breaks and not overdoing it, but understand that we're humans, and to find that inner peace, because there's no point with you keeping that stuff all in, and then because it eventually could just blow up and it could be too much. So you know, we talked about we're living in a time right now where things have changed drastically, where we're in like a new era of things. So these things can really help. And the only thing that we have that is the only thing that we have that is certainty is that, you know, we can be our better selves. Like literally, you no matter what situation you're in right now, you can change it for the better.
Yep.
And then even if you feel like you're in a better situation, you can be better than that
Yep.
situation. And you know, you always talk about where it's like there's always more. There's always more.
There's always more of you. There's more of you inside you than you even know it. I don't think human beings ever reach their full capability at all. At all. You know it. I don't care if you're at the top of your field and you have your PhD. I still believe that as humans, there's more in us than we're even capable of imagining.
So these are the 7 tips to detox your mind and keep you at peace while going through whatever it is you're going through at with like first one is meditation. You know, silence and stillness around you and within can make you analyze and see life from a different aspect. And you know, it gives you answers that you're looking for outside of yourself, literally, where you get to talk to your mind and grasp about, okay, what do I want out of it? And that's why they always say it's so important to do it like while you wake up, like, you know,
Yeah,
set
in the
some
theta stage, yep.
set some time for yourself, and you know, you can achieve more by doing that. How do you feel like meditation can help us towards just getting crushing our goals and understanding who we are, our true self? And like we talk about understanding self purpose.
The world is moving so fast, you gotta learn to slow it down, right? Being at one center of yourself, one of your peace. You know, I try meditation like when you're really into it and you just in a deep relaxation phase, everything is just so much clearer, right? In the morning, I mean, they say going to bed and when you first wake up is when your brain is most impressionable. And I think that's what meditation does to us. So it's like when when I could get into that zone to allow my brain to observe the most I'm capable of doing, it's only going to be a positive. Like I just said, we're not even using half our potential. I don't think we're using 10% of our potential. Then I hear say like human human being and are losing like 90 high 90 something percent of their brain capacity, and I was like, no, really fascinating. So if meditation could help us solve some of these things and slow the world as fast as it's going down to our benefit, then why not?
Hmm. And I mean, if you haven't tried it, I encourage you to do so. There's different aspects, whether it becomes like, yoga. A lot of people use yoga for meditation to ease their
Mindfulness,
mind.
yoga, relaxation, like all kind of therapeutic ways to go through meditation.
Even
I was quick story. I went through meditation once and I actually ended up falling asleep. It was so relaxing.
gonna get
Yeah,
massages.
it was just like some deep. And I was like, we were sitting on the carpet and I fell asleep and I woke up and like, this is the best rest I had. And I was like, literally, like in a matter of 20, 30 minutes, they're like, you've slept. I'm like, oh, wow. Guess I had
Mine
to
was
say,
at ease.
yeah, mine was at ease. Peace.
Now, the second one to help detox the mind is chores. We talked about, you remember we always talk about like when you get up with your bed being laid, if it's not laid, if your things
The
are
first
messy,
step. Yeah.
that's how your day will kind of go. So, a lot of people don't they kind of dislike doing some of the chores, whether it's sweeping, cleaning, and we don't encourage that because you want to, it's like it's like an effect that like where we
And
talked
affect
about
your
like
day. Start your day with power and intention, and you finish your day with a meaningful purpose, right? So if you start your day with checking something on the task board, like you're already on the winning side of things, right? You're already on the winning side of things.
And everybody, I tell you, like if this table was messy right now, we wouldn't have started this podcast. So we'll make sure
Yeah.
we'll clean it or start this
Shout out
episode.
Jordan Peterson, say clean your room, right? Before you go on and take on the big obstacle in life to deal with your coworkers. Yes, excuse me for my language, or the person on the road who is driving every kind of worst way as possible. But start with your day, win the battle with yourself. Wake up, do your bed. It's a check for yourself that you're already in the winning column. And throughout the day, try to stack up that winning column.
The next one is ego, and this one is this one is funny because ego can be a great thing, or it can kind of mess you up a little bit. Where when you let your ego get the best of you.
Yeah, it's a great quote. I said, it says, ego is the anesthesia that deadens the pain of stupidity. Like, say that again. Ego is the anesthesia that deadens the pain of stupidity. And we all have egos. That how much do we suppress it? When does it show its ugly head? When things are going right for us, especially when money is involved, we start to see the ugly side of our nature more than anything, where we humility is no longer there, and we start being a tyrant to society, where we praise the world as at our feet as being on. So we have some type of ego, but like I said, ego is the anesthesia that is the pain of stupidity.
And with this one, they encourage us to become friends with our mind. Because when we become friends with the ego and we start to work out with the mind, we become friends with ourselves, and only that is when you know your strengths and your weaknesses. And if you're a friend to yourself, you're gonna do what's better. Like it's like when you have a friend that you care about, you're gonna tell them what's best for them.
Yeah.
So when you become a friend with your mind and that ego, you're gonna try to do like you can talk to yourself, even if you've been put in a situation where you were at the wrong. You can talk to yourself to be like, okay, I'll accept that I was in the wrong. I'll probably make the next steps to apologize or to fix the situation and become the bigger person to be like, you know what? I know I made a mistake. My apology, and not just to say it because his actions speak louder than words, but through your actions, people make okay. I know that you meant that apology.
Yeah, and there's a thing about ego being the dark side, but understand that we're constantly working on the positive side of our nature and doing our best to suppress our dark side. Which won't allow us to be all that we can be. That we talk about, we constantly could be more than what you are. That's why you got to be a student of life. You're not always correct, and ego is one of those things that plays a role into it. With the whole fact of I know it all, I know what I'm doing. Like I just said, you got to constantly develop the positive side of your nature while suppressing your dark side. Allow yourself to enjoy life, take on all the experiences, even if things are going well for you. So that's what I gotta say about ego. Be friends with it, right? Be friends with it.
And the next big one is focus. It could be from focusing on your health, focusing on your goals, focus on being the better version of yourself. Like I feel like when you scramble, you ever make eggs and you're making scrambled eggs, it's all over the place. It's scrambled when you're mixing it up and you you put the whatever you're using to cook it in the
Spatula.
spatula. Like everything is all over the stuff. But when you make that, I like to make egg whites and stuff. But when you make that egg white and it's just there flat, everything looks calm and smooth. So it's important for us to focus down on whatever it is we want in their life. And they say once you start to focus, that will help ease your mind. Usually people who are all over the place or have so many things going on,
Easily
they,
distracted. You're adding more fuel to the fire, right? Things are already as chaotic as it is. You're trying to figure things out and you lack focus, then you lack a sense of direction, right? So don't focus too much on mistakes, focus on positivity. Start saying to yourself next time, and you actually gotta mean that when you say it next time, right? So focus works on your mindfulness and be able to help you as the world is already as chaotic as it is.
what's crazy, there was a point where it said exercise, working out is the best way to connect with yourself.
Yep.
And like that's when you get to understand who you are. You understand, okay, am I a morning person, night person? Okay, I want to do these things up. And if you're not doing it, you won't really see it. And this is something that that has been researched about. And I encourage everybody to, you want to connect with yourself in different aspects of not the world, like, running on your time, where it's like you've made time for something that can add value to you by you just like, talking to yourself, or through working out, you'll be able to understand yourself. So I encourage everybody to focus. And there may be people who it's hard for them to focus.
Yeah.
What advice would we give to the people who, hey, it's just
one thing at a time, right? Give it a gift of your attention. It's difficult, small increments, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, and also take breaks, right? That's what I realized about focus. Did like even I myself, like even studying, like people be like, I'm doing 6 hours of studying. No, I'm not. I'm gonna be real, like, you know what I mean? It's in gaps, like you need that break, right? I may give something the full attention, maybe 20-30 minutes, and I need that break. I need to be distracted, because then eventually my brain will start to loop and go and overload it, where I'm not observing no information. Or so it's like one step at a time, right? Break things down, know yourself, give yourself room for mistakes, one step at a time, and a long extended period of time, so you could actually gather all the information you need to gather in what it is that you're focusing on.
And it's one of those things where after time passes by and you realize you focus on something, a task, a goal, and you get that done, you then understand, like, oh my goodness, this is why it's so important. And like I remember the when I got my first credit card and I sent you a message, I was like, yo, bro, I was so excited, happy. Then when I stayed and focused on making sure I didn't spend more than 30%, I paid my stuff on time. When they gave me the increase, I was like, oh my goodness, bro. With me focusing, because it started from me finding out where my credit was, what I had to go get done, and then from that step was the next. Then I applied and I got it, and it was just like, I'm like, holy, yo, I gotta just lock in. When you lock into something and you really set your mind to do something, there's more that's gonna come out of it.
And that's the thing we talk about often, not worrying about the outcome or the your result, but rather just doing the little things. Eventually will come in itself if you do it. But people start doing things, hey, this hasn't come yet, and why haven't I seen this yet, and this, that. Just that's not, if that's all you're focusing on, chances are you're doing the wrong thing, right? It's difficult to hit a target that you're not looking at. Right? There's a target in front of you and you're overlooking it, seeing the other target. There's levels, there's stages, right? You might have to knock down this target to keep working towards that. And eventually, as you get better and better, when you reach your final destination, your final target, it feels like a breeze, like you didn't even know how you get there. So, like I said, it's difficult for you to hit a target that you're not looking at and you're distracted looking at elsewhere.
And I mean, that's why I love what we do with Motivation Monday, because it's a week. I tell you, Monday's helping me out so much.
Yeah.
Like I tell you, this platform, and people be like, yo, it's been helping me, but it's helping me. It's literally helping me. And as I get older now, I'm even accepting some of the stuff that I did when I was younger that I didn't know, and I'm like, it's okay. It's okay.
Next time.
It's okay.
Don't focus too much on your mistake. Focus on the positivity and say to yourself, next time. Now you know that. Now you know better. And you may not have it next time of going back to 16, 17-year-old, 18-year-old, but you could pass it on to your younger generation. That's what we always talk about. Leave the world a better place than you found it.
And then what's crazy is once you actually get these things done, you're not even worried about it no more. It's on to the next. Now I understand how this credit thing, I'm not even worried about that. I'm more about, okay, how can I leverage, now that I know I got this, how can I leverage? I remember when you always used to speak about OPM, other people's money. Now it's like, bro, the banks are literally, if you do what you gotta do, you can leverage off of making these decisions that will only help better your life. So we encourage everybody to focus. It's everything. No matter what you're doing, focus. I always find it cool when I'm at basketball games or watching these guys play and they're making all types of noise, saying um all these things, and they're still hitting the shots. I remember one player, he had a situation with like somebody had a child and they kept screaming her name, and he hit both shots on the Charlotte Hornets, and it was funny because everyone thought it would distract him, but he's probably practiced
Laser
those free
focus.
throws.
That's
You know what I
mental
mean?
block. Those people that are able to go within themselves and block out all the external distractions, and they're like laser scary people. You could do everything it is that they want.
Now the next
And
one
we're all
is
capable of doing such.
the next one is a big one because remember we were in Ghana a month ago, a couple weeks, and gratitude. Giving gratitude for what you have is indeed powerful. Like sometimes you don't realize somebody's across the world would trade places with you, would die to trade places with you. So it's important for us to to practice gratitude within ourselves, whatever we have going on, and not like we talked about earlier, comparison as Steve enjoyed. Just we're trying to be better, 1% better than we were yesterday, right?
You know, that's what we talk about gratitude. Gratitude is not for every now and then and for every single day, right? It's not for when things go uh drastically well, like waiting for the lottery or your paycheck or extra. It's for every single day. For the 2 eyes, be thankful for the 2 eyes that you're able to watch this video, your ears that you're able to just listen or even just speak. A lot of people don't have that, right? So much people, the little that you're not even aware of, or people are on their last dying breath wishing just one more minute, right? One more minute, one more chance in life to be grateful for everything that we're grateful for. So gratitude is not for every now and then, for every single day. If there's nothing for you to be grateful for, nothing, you look around and just check your pulse. Like, and that's something to be grateful for. When you start being grateful and showing gratitude to the world for the little that you do have, abundance, more will start to fall your way.
You
More will
know,
start to fall your way.
someone may say though, like, how can I be grateful when all these things aren't going where it's supposed to go? Like, I know we're 3 weeks into the new year, and a lot of people had plans and things, and I know not everything goes the way you want it to go, right? So how can we deter everybody to be like, all right, cool. There's still more weeks left in January. There's
There's
still more
more. It's
days left.
52 weeks left, and we're 3 weeks done. We're still down 49. Right? Be grateful that you actually got to be here for those 3 weeks, good or bad, no matter how bad it got. Like I said earlier, you're capable of always doing more, good or bad. People that had the best 3 weeks of your life, that's not the best. You could get better than that. Don't settle. Don't settle. Right? Don't settle. This is not me. I'm not grateful. Right? The best position to be in life is to be grateful for what you have, while you are in pursuit the more that you want for yourself. That's the space you want to be in, because there's more in this world out there for you. So for people who may feel like, oh, what could I do, and it hasn't been tough, just be grateful for the little that you do have. Like the 3 weeks got to be, so many people were expecting to walk into to 2022, and it's sad to say they're not here, right? Right? It's sad to say they're not here. So show show gratitude for what you have, the little that you do have. Just the opportunity. You have opportunities to change the direction of your life. You may not be able to change destination overnight, but you can change direction right now while you're watching this video.
And it's one of those things where being thankful goes a long way. You'll be surprised. You'll be super. So, you ever been you ever open a door for somebody or do something for somebody and they don't they don't say thank you, or they don't like, hey, I open the door for you and you don't say thank you. You realize how pissed somebody will get, where it's like they wish they could just slam the door. I've been in the mall where I've seen somebody open the door and say that, and then they'll make their hands or do something. But you'll be surprised when you actually do. Like, I find myself when I've seen people struggling, like at the grocery store or something, where a cart is, and I ran to get to the cart, and they're so shocked that I was there to help them, or like, somebody's on the side of the road. I'm pretty sure there's so many people who've been through scenarios where like a guardian angel came to save you in some kind of way when you were going through some trials, how happy you were. So being thankful can go a long way, and I encourage people. We talk about all the time, don't be doing something looking for something in return, right? So it's
Give to give, don't give to receive, right?
it's one of those things. The sixth one is volunteering. People don't understand, and I realize a lot of people who volunteer are they're at peace, like their mind is at peace, because we're in such in a society where everybody wants to trade their time for money,
Mm-hmm.
and that they forget that there's can be some joy with you
If you're
volunteer.
able to volunteer your time, you're in a great space in
That's
life, right?
exactly.
Right? Because people are scrambling for time, trying to make money out of their time, but you're able to volunteer your labor, your gift, your time, whatever it is, right? So it tells me right away you're in a great space. Like you're in a great space mentally. Because we're also consumed with needing this and working and needing to go here. So we never take that chance and the opportunity to get back to what it is that we care and want to contribute to. So if automatically when I see people volunteer, I know they're in a great space. You know, not those people who are it's mandatory for them for whatever reason, which we
We've
all
been
went
there.
through.
We've been there.
We all went through high school, 40 hours of volunteer hours. You know what I mean? It was great when the coach made us do the scoreboard. You know, actually doing something that was meaningful or fun, but it says a lot about a person who's scrambling to figure things out that they're still able to volunteer their time.
And that was a good example right there. I was even thinking about the bad times where I had to do some volunteer hours and for other stuff where it's like I have
I've
no
been
choice.
through there, man.
So I'm like, oh, thank God those days are over.
I've been through there.
The last one though, is acknowledge your emotions. You know, sometimes when it comes to emotions, you can be right, you can be wrong. It's something that literally exists, and sometimes it's crazy because people can let the emotions get the best of them.
Human beings are emotional, but we cannot make those emotions use us. Okay? And embrace your emotion, right? Acknowledge how you feel. That's what it talks about. Acknowledge if you're angry, well, you're angry. But don't let it lead you to a place that you know you do not want to be when you no longer feel that way.
Mm.
Right? So if it's you through anger, watch what you say because you may not feel that way. And even if you feel that this is what you need to say to overcome your anger, even after, feel better. Just dissect it. Let times pass. Let time pass. If you're sad, be sad. Cry. Live through it. Right. Welcome all the experience is part of life, but acknowledge your emotions. Be aware of them, but don't let your emotions lead you astray. Don't let your emotions make life hard enough as it is already.
And not one thing that I've learned over time is like you know, think or I gotta think before I speak. Like if a situation happens, you know, because I don't want a situation to happen and I just start. I remember things would happen and I'll just have something to say quick and understand that once these words come out of your mouth, you can't take those words back, even if you're sorry for what you said. So you gotta be very, very, very understanding. And you know, there's people who like to push people's buttons. We understand. People like to push.
Misrealize companies. People trying to get under your skin, trying to, make it where it hurts. So it's like, you got to acknowledge your emotions. You got to put it intact. Don't let your emotions use you. Use your emotions, but don't let your emotions use you.
And you know what's crazy? I always tell people that the world still goes on, right? So that's why it has to
With
be
or without you.
with or without you. So you got to be very, very mindful and careful, and understand that. I always whenever I see these videos go online and people are bashing somebody because customer service and all these work, I'm like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, and we got, but I understand some people sometimes have a bad day, and that just adds to it. And but you got to think of other people as human beings. We're all human beings. Nobody's different than you. It doesn't matter the job they have, or they always have that phrase that the customer is always right, so people can take advantage of those situations. But it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's relationship, whether it's school, whether it's at the job. Let's learn to control our emotions and help it ease our minds at times when it comes to certain things, and allow forgiveness. Forgiveness is one big thing as well too. You got to learn to forgive. Doesn't mean you got to forget, but you can learn to forgive, and so that it doesn't mean that if you forgive somebody, it doesn't mean you got to be the same way you were with that person. You can learn from that mistake, but as long as you can stay true to yourself in that feeling to turn it into a positive situation, because two wrongs don't make a right. So I encourage everybody to do that, and it's so important. As we're here talking about, these were 7 tips to detox your mind and keep you at ease. I mean, like with everything going on, and as we prepared, the first month is almost coming down, and we're weeks into 2022. I think it's only right that we talk about these things and put it out there so that somebody can hear this and remember that we're here. And that's the good thing that I love about this platform, about understanding self, purpose, passion.
Passion, finances,
all
all go
plays
hand in hand.
role into our lives and to society. So I encourage everybody to to share this out if you liked what you heard today. From the affirmation to everything we talked about from the beginning, these are things that are very, very important, and it's so important for us to detox our mind and find that inner peace, because I feel like at that moment, then you can become your better self in whatever it is you're looking to attain or achieve from this beautiful thing that we call life. We can't take for granted, because like we always talk about, tomorrow's not promised. So we gotta live for we gotta live for today. We gotta make sure we do what we gotta do to set up for tomorrow. So that wraps up this week's episode. And once again, if you're just joining us, just caught us at the end, or if you're listening to on any streaming platform, make sure you, if it's Spotify, follow us on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. If it's YouTube, click the like button, comment. We want to hear some feedback. When we post some of the snippets on social media, on Instagram, our Facebook pages, feel free to interact and let us know. And our DMs are always open and things for feedback, and even if there's topic or things, I've seen a couple people who've reached out. We have the email as well, so make sure you do that. And as we get prepared for our next episode and stuff, but this is a great topic. I enjoyed talking about these things that are very, very important when it comes to motivation to keep us grounded. Don't count the days, make the days count. Being optimistic while accepting failures, and 7 tips to detox your mind and feel more at peace. I mean, I feel like when you can conquer these things and understand these stuff and make it a discipline and something that you can continuously do in your life, sky's the limit. You can do whatever you want.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate the love and support. Subscribe. Tune in each and every Monday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Appreciate it. Your boy Max, the speaker.
Well, MC Ebon, we're out week 91, episode 15.
See you guys next week. Thank you.